Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Apologies for the weird location. Today I'm talking about the DWP again, but I'm talking about something which has come to light, which means there's been a huge amount of waste in some respects, and it's all done in in a very sad way. The circumstances are very sad, but it shows how they are wasting money, and also how they go about recovering that kind of money. So we're going to look at the article now, but before you do, please do hit subscribe if you're new to the channel, or if you've been watching before but you haven't subscribed. It all does help the algorithm, helps me share these videos among a wider audience, which is what I'm trying to do, to get as many people as possible to see this news that comes from the DWP and PIP and Universal Credit, that sort of thing. So now let's go over to the article and see what I mean. Right, so this is the article. It's in the Telegraph. DWP pays £500 million in erroneous state pension payments. Families face no obligation to repay as overpayments climb to 512 million. Now, the circumstances are quite sad. Civil servants mistakenly sent more than £500 million to deceased people in just 5 years. And this is what official figures have said. Department for Work and Pensions has overpaid 512 million in state pension and pension credit since 2019, with a record 159 cent last year alone. Less than half of this has since been recovered, as there is no legal obligation for families to return the money. 257 lost could have covered winter fuel payments for up to 1.3 million pensioners. Pension credit is paid in advance to people on the old state pension, but in arrears to those on the new system. The state pension itself is always paid in arrears. However, a parliamentary question asked by Reform MP Robert Lowe last month revealed that 512 was paid to deceased people over the past 5 years, and just 255 million has been returned. None of the money can be legally recovered, although the DWP usually writes to the grieving families requesting it, and any payments made are optional. And this is the figures that's happened over the last few years that they've got, and how much they've got in payments. Speaking in the Telegraph, Mr. Lowe called for an overhaul of the system. This is a shocking waste that underlies the contempt with which the government treats taxpayers' money. Why is it tolerated? Why is the return of this money not enforceable? This is wide open to fraud and abuse. It needs to be clamped down on as part of wider government effort to slash down on misspending. We must keep pushing for transparent data to uncover the true extent of the waste. However, I mean, I understand what he's saying, and I completely agree that this is open to abuse. You know, there are people out there who may be claiming for relatives who have passed away. The DWP doesn't know about that situation, and so they just carry on paying it. Of course, this happens, and it is open to abuse. But there is also a lot of people who, you know, when a relative dies, they just don't know the process. They don't know what to do. This may be the first time they've had to deal with someone's estate, so they may not necessarily know. They may, you know, forget who needs to know and who doesn't need to know. So, you know, this is in part a problem of the DWP, I think, because if the DWP had a more joined up system, they would know when someone has deceased, or when they suspect someone is deceased. They could then contact the family and ask for you know, information. You know, surely, you know, medical records could be accessed and things like this. I mean, they're going to access people's bank accounts, so I'm sure they can access people's you know, on DWP or other systems that they may be on, to find out if they've passed away, and if they have, flag that up to the DWP. I'm sure there are ways they can do that without violating data protection and stuff like that. And that would have two outcomes. It would then be able to stop this money being spent when the person is deceased, but it would also ensure that they don't have to send letters to the grieving family saying, oh, you've overpaid all this money, we would like you to give it back to us. Then they don't need to enforce the money coming back, because then they will know that the person has deceased, and if they then suspect fraud, they can of course act on it, you know, accordingly after that. But I'm sure there are ways that they can better manage this, so that they can be told or flagged up when someone passes away. I'm sure there is. Anyway, that's just my rant over with. But anyway, yeah, so this is a huge waste of money, and it's something really they need to get a handle on. I mean, they're talking about, you know, fraud and things like that, but when they're not doing simple things like this, I think it's quite simple, then it shows you that actually that they just don't have a clue. Anyway, let me know down in the comment section what you think, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.